Alors, on est de retour sur le plateau après cette belle musique. On va tout de suite retrouver notre invité de ce matin, donc Godlove. Il est avec nous et on disait que nous allons parler de la liberté financière,
financial free.
Ouais. Il y a fatigue, fatigue morale. Bonjour Godlove, bienvenue.
Good morning, Grace. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
So today on va parler de, we are going to talk about financial free. On aimerait tous être libres, avoir une liberté financière, mais on ne sait pas vraiment comment est-ce que ça se passe, comment on devrait sortir, dans quel site, comment est-ce que le côté moral, comment est-ce qu'on doit faire pour déjà les idées, comment avoir les bonnes idées pour être libre financièrement quand on se sent vraiment très lié. On commence par quoi?
Okay, thank you Solange, thank you Kevino for having me here. Good day televiewers, and I'm actually excited to be here to talk about this topic because it's a topic many people dream about, they think about, but unfortunately, very few people can actually ascend to it. And I believe that it's through this opportunity that we'll talk about financial freedom that many people will get to understand what they are supposed to do, just as Solange rightly mentioned. But before I go into this, permit me to share this story. I always like to share this story each time I talk about financial freedom. It's a story about this village. In this village, you had the king, and you had 3 rich people. And every other person in this village was actually very poor. And one day, the people of this village had this meeting, and they were very angry that how can we only have 3 rich people in the village, and the rest of the village is poor. We must do something that is different. And so, they sent one of their delegates to go and see the chief, to tell the chief that we have resolved as follows. Either these 3 people share every wealth that they have equally to everybody in the village, or they should leave the village. And so when the chief heard this, he was a little bit disturbed because these 3 rich people were actually his friends for the following reason. One of the rich person had provided electricity for the whole village. One of the other rich person had provided water for the whole village. And then the last person was doing everything possible to make sure that any intelligent child who wanted to continue his education to any level was being educated, and he was taking charge of that. So these 3 rich people was a lot of value to the village. But now he was faced with the question of, or maybe with the decision, the dilemma of either sending them out or asking them to share their money to the whole village. So what he did, you know, a chief is somebody that should be able to rally everybody together. So he called these 3 rich people and sat them down and explained to them, this is what the villagers have decided to do. And the 3 rich people said, okay, we are going to think about it and get back to you with our decision, whether we are leaving or we are sharing our wealth with everybody in the village. So that same evening, the 3 rich people came back to the chief and said, okay, this is what we have decided. This is our village, this is our community, we are not going to leave it. But this is what is going to happen. We are going to share our wealth equally to everybody so that everybody in the village will have the same amount of money and wealth. When the news got out to the village, everyone was very, very excited. You can imagine many people, just imagine today in Africa, they just say that they want to share the money of Dangote to everyone. Or that all the rich people, they have taken their money, they are sharing it equally to all the Cameroonians. A lot of people are going to be excited. So that was the same scenario with these villagers. So the day of sharing came, and the rich people brought everything that they had at the village square, and the sharing took place. Everybody went home excited. People were happy. I am now rich. I will be able to drink whatever I've always loved to drink. I will now wear the dress I've always wanted to wear. I will, you know, do everything I've always loved to do. So those who loved drinking started drinking and sleeping on the gutter. Those who wanted designer shoes started buying designer shoes. Those who wanted the best of clothes were buying the best of clothes. And you know, everybody was like seriously buying everything they have always desired. After 1 month, there were 3 rich people in the village and every other person was poor. I hope you get what was happening. While every other person was thinking about buying what they have always desired to have, these 3 rich people took the little that they had and started buying what those people need for them to be buying. So in a very short time, all these people who the only thing they knew was about spending gave back their money to the rich people. And so that's what we are going to be talking about. Most of us in the society, when you talk about money, the only thing we know how to do is to spend. But for you to get to the point of financial freedom, there's an important element that you need to have, which is financial education. So basically, when we talk about financial freedom, it's true. Actually, what we mean is when you have enough money, the enough money could be in your investment, it could be in your savings, it could be the cash that you have at hand, to be able to live the lifestyle that you desire alongside with your family without thinking about going to work again. And when you get to this point, you can pursue your purpose. You can do the things that you have always desired to do without having the worry about money. But then, the interesting thing is that everybody who gets to this place doesn't sit around being lazy. They continue to work. Because most people will say, if I just have 10 million in my account, I will never work again. If I have 100 million in my account, this is what I will do, this is what I will do, I will never work again. But the people who get to the point of having this amount of money, they actually understand certain things that the poor and average person does not understand. And that is why they are able to get to the level of financial freedom. As a matter of fact, I have one of my coaches, when you talk about financial freedom, he will always tell you what contributes to financial freedom are the 3 M's of money. He says the 3 M's of money. And the first M has to do with making money.
The 3 M's?
The 3 M's.
M's, okay.
The letter M.
Yes, I understand.
That is, he says you have the 3 M's of money. So the first M that he talks about is making money. You cannot get to the point of financial freedom when you're not able to make money. That's the first thing we need to understand. So when you talk about making money, it's talking about having income. How do I have income? So when you talk about income, you have direct income that could be coming in through salaries. There are people who do businesses and their income comes in through maybe their profits. There are people who have investment, they have dividends, they have interest that come in. There are people who give out loans and they have interest. All of that could be classified as income, and that is money they are making. But now when you understand how to make money, probably through your skills, for example, you are a journalist and you know how to speak very well and you are using your journalism skill to be able to make money for yourself. Of course, another person will be a plumber. He's using his plumbing skills to make money. The banker is using his banking or financial skills to be able to make money. And the engineer using his intellect with his ingenuity, he is also making money. But now, for you to get to the level of financial freedom, having income is not enough. The next M that comes in, the second M for this 3 M, is managing money. When you talk about managing money, when you already have money, there are different things you can do with that money. You can spend the money, you can give the money to other people, you can use the money for debt payment, you can use the money to save. That has to do with your ability on how to manage money. But there's another thing that you can also do with that money, which is multiply the money. So when we are talking about the 3 M's of money, it's basically about how you can make money, how you can manage money, and how you can multiply money. When you talk about multiplying money, effectively, what you are talking about is investment. So within this series that I'm actually starting off today, we are going to be looking at during the next the next couple of weeks, we are going to be looking how to manage money, how to make investment, and how to build yourself to become a person of value, because that is where financial education is centered about. And it is financial education that leads to financial freedom. But when you have financial education, it gives you an element that many people like, which is financial confidence. I call it financial confidence because it is that confidence that allows somebody to be able to make the decisions that they are supposed to make that will guide them towards financial freedom. Because when you talk about financial freedom, many people are just looking at a large sum of money. But I can assure you, two people can be living together and one person is earning more than another person, but the person who is earning less is actually living a financial free life than the person who is earning much. The simple reason is because if I'm earning a lot of money and I don't know how to manage it or to multiply it, it means I'll always remain poor. So it's not necessarily about the amount of money that I can receive or that you can receive. Financial freedom actually goes above that. So we cannot talk about financial freedom without talking about financial education, as I said. And when we're talking about financial education, just like we have academics, or let me say scholastic education, we also have vocational. We have vocational, or let me call it professional education. We also have financial education. Unfortunately, our school system is very good and adapted for this. And those who want to become professional accountants, those who want to become engineers, those who want to become tailors, those who want to become seamstresses, they train them on this. But unfortunately, in school, at home, we don't receive this.
Yes, it's true.
That is why you will see maybe a professor in the university that is teaching economics, is teaching accountant, is broke. Because he doesn't have this. As a matter of fact, for you to be able to succeed in anything in life, you need to have skills for it. I cannot be a successful journalist if I don't have the skills of a journalist. I cannot be a successful tailor if I've not gone through tailoring school and understood how to do measurements, how to cut the material, and how to, sew it together. It is the same thing with financial education. Financial education have rules, it has principles, it has laws that guide anyone that wants to grow in it. And these laws, these principles, they are people who follow these rules and they don't even know about this rule and they succeed. There are some who are intentional to actually learn these rules, and when they follow these rules, they are succeeding. When I'm talking about principles, each time I talk about principle, I like to mention the law of gravity, which is a rule or a law that many of us understand because in basic geography or in secondary school, we get to learn about it. Now, the law of gravity says that if you throw something up, it's going to fall down. If I say that I don't believe in the force of gravity or the law of gravity, and I climb on this building, I think we should be on the 4th floor here. Now, if I decide and go out on the window there, and I jump, because I don't believe in gravity, I will not remain up. I'm going to fall down, even though I don't believe. So when it comes to financial principle and financial laws, whatsoever I do, if I do something wrong, I'm going to reap the effect of it that is going to keep me in poverty. And that is what the masses are doing. They don't understand financial principles, they don't understand financial laws. And so what happens is they remain in the same level. And generally in our society, people are actually naive about talking about money. People want to talk about everything, but they don't want to talk about money. And I want to believe it is actually because of the way we grow up. When we are growing up, we are being made to understand that money is evil, that money is not good. It is only bad people that have money. As a matter of fact, these words that they tell us when we are small and we grow up with it, we tend to look at anybody that has money as if the person have done something wrong, as if the person is a bad person. And we start hating people who have money unconsciously. And when you hate something, you cannot attract it. So unconsciously, we are actually pushing away money. But ironically, we go to work, we are doing everything to have that money. So we discover that every day we are chasing after money and the money is running away. But somebody who understands financial principles, what the person will be doing is to follow them and create value and attract the money. Because one bizarre thing about money is that it actually have people it follows. And the type of people that money follows are people who have the value that can attract the money. I think in one of the sessions or episodes we are going to have, I'm going to spend time to talk about the laws of money, whereby we'll actually see how those principles come into place. And another thing in our society, even people who start to master this financial principle, at times they don't want to teach others about it. Why? The reason is funny, because when you start teaching people on how to make money, on how to manage their money, on how to multiply your money, they start thinking that you already have all the money that you can possibly have. And so they want instead to get into the position of begging you to give them money. And when you tell them that, no, you don't have money because you're also struggling to get to the point of financial freedom, they don't take your message seriously. I can assure you that if I should go out there to do a presentation to help people to understand this financial principle, very few people will come. But if Warren Buffett were to come here, or if let's say, let me take the case of Mark Zuckerberg, the guy of Facebook, or take the guy of Tesla, take the guy of Amazon. If any of them were to come here to have a seminar on how to make money, a lot of people are going to come. But I can guarantee you that apart from their experiences that they are going to share, the principles for making money and having financial freedom they are going to share will not be different from anyone that is being taught around here anywhere. But the difference is, because they have already made a name for themselves, what they are teaching is what they gathered on the way. And that is what they have already been sharing in their books. They have been sharing in their, every time they have the opportunity to share. And those are some of the principles that we are going to be sharing during this program and subsequent programs. So I would just want to encourage anyone who is listening to me, and I was made to understand that most of the people who follow this program, and this program is destined for, are the young people between the ages of 18 and 35. When you are in this age bracket, I can assure you it's the best time for you to master financial principles. It's the best time for you to master financial education, because it's going to take you away from the stress of living a later life with a lot of regrets. If you should take somebody who is at the age of 35 and you were able to sit down for the person to calculate every amount of money that has gone through them since when they got to 20 or when they started making money, you'll be alarmed by how much money have passed through their hands, but still then they don't have enough money. And
how can they explain that?
Pardon?
How can they explain
How can you explain that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you start working somebody who starts working at the age of 25. At the age of 25, and maybe at the age of 25, your monthly salary is, let's say, 120,000. 120,000 times 12. I think it should be about 101,044,000. Let's say it's somebody that is a hustler, somebody that is working hard, somebody that is taking life serious, and then maybe at the age of 26, he starts earning 150,000 per month, which means that, for the sake of calculations, at the end of 12 months, he's going to earn 150 times 10, that's 1.5 million, plus he's going to earn 1.8 million. So you calculate this up to the time that they are going to be 35 years. This year was 1.something million, 1.something million. You discover that in the space of 10 years, probably will have had 15 to 20 million that passed through their hands. But in terms of investment, maybe they have not been able to have any investment up to 1 million. which means that there is something that is wrong. They have not mastered how to keep money or how to save money or how to invest money. As a matter of fact, you have something to say, Solange?
Mireille Grasse.
Mireille Grasse, oh, sorry.
Moi, je veux poser la question. Quelqu'un qui travaille
Oui.
et a un salaire, comment est-ce qu'il va réussir à faire des économies pour être libre financièrement?
Okay. Now, when it comes to earning, because I said we are going to talk about managing money and multiplying money. Now, somebody who is a salary worker, generally, the problem is that people live life, manage their money, their lifestyle. They have 3 ways that they manage their lifestyle. 1, some people live above their means. This is how some people live their life. Which means that before the salary come, they have already spent, they have already borrowed money. So the salary that is coming is just to pay the bills, the debts that have accumulated.
Yeah.
Number 2, you have people who live life according to their means. Now that means if their salary is 150,000, they make sure that in a month they are spending 150,000. If their salary is 200,000, they make sure that in a month their expenses is plus or minus 200,000 thereabout. Now those who live above their means, actually they are already digging their graves. And it's extreme, they can never ever think about financial freedom. Those who live life according to their means, they are just one step away from their own grave. Because if you are living life according to your means, it means that at the end of the month, you have nothing that you have saved. You have nothing that you are keeping away. If it happens that you are sacked from your job, what happens? If for 6 months, you are not doing anything, what happens? Because seriously, in life, a lot of things can happen to us that we did not actually plan. Now, the third category of people are people who live life below their means. What does that mean? Probably the person earns 150,000, but he makes sure that he doesn't take more than 120,000 as far as expenditures is concerned. So the important thing is not how much you earn. What is important for you is to understand those principles of financial intelligence or financial literacy, because that is what is going to lead you to financial freedom. And start asking yourself, what can I do even at the moment that I'm earning very little to be able to have more money so that I can work towards financial freedom. When I will come to budgeting, when I will come to how to manage your money, I'm going to expatiate on that. But when you ask that question, I remember something, a challenge that one of my coaches just gave to me, and it's about a challenge in 2021. I'm just going to borrow it from my coach, and I'm going to share with everybody who is watching it here. Mireille Grasse, I want you to look at it. Now, 1 year has how many weeks?
1 year
has 52 weeks. Not so?
52 weeks, yeah.
52 weeks. Now, the problem of people to save is the problem of consistency. There's what is called a piggy bank, this small box whereby as a child you take 100 francs to come and put. Me and my wife for some time, what we used to do is each time we have a 500 francs coin, we come and drop it there. And we have dropped 500 coins there, and at times you want to come and open it, you have 87,000, you have different sums of money, and we open it maybe when you want to pay the children's school fees, the thing just comes in handy. But now, if you feel that your salary is small, everybody's salary is small, by the way, because nobody is going to pay you a big salary. If they are paying you a salary of 5 million, I can assure you what you are doing in that company is more than 5 million. So, which means that it's also small at that level. The person who is being paid a salary of 100,000 is also small to the person because he or she have many things to do.
Of course.
There's something about life. The money that you receive, your demands will always rise up to that amount. So this is a strategy about saving. He says for 52 weeks, you should discipline yourself because there is no way you can ever get to the point of financial freedom without discipline. By the time you start having an eye on how you spend your money, you will discover that every week there are expenditures that you do that you could have done without. We'll come more to that when we'll be talking about budget. But look at this. If you decide that you are going to save in this formula, first week of January, you save 1,000 francs. Second week, you save 2,000. Third week, you save 3,000. Fourth week, not so, you save 4,000. It means the first month of 2021, how much have you saved? 4 plus 3, that's 7, plus this is 10,000 also.
10 per 30.
10,000 that you have saved for 1 month. Now, the interesting thing is that people want to start saving big money at once, and it becomes difficult for them.
Yeah.
But now, if you start with small amounts of money and build up that consistency, you get to the point where the thing is now like it is sweet to you. It becomes comfortable. It becomes something like you cannot do without. You become addicted to it. Now, 5th week, what do? You save 5,000. You see how much I'm increasing the amount? If you continue like this, by week 50, it means you are expected to save 50,000. By week 51, you are going to save 51,000. And by week 52, which is the last week of 2021, you are going to save 52,000. Now, as you go closer to the end of the month, the task is going to become difficult because the amount is increasing. But because your mind has been wired that every week I have to save, after you get maybe to week 21, it's going to become easier. And you will start noticing things that you can keep away to be able to do this. Now, if you do this for 52 weeks, you are going to save almost 1.4 million. You can do the calculations. You are going to save almost 1.4 million. Now, this is somebody that is working somewhere that probably they are earning a salary of 200,000, 250,000, and he's expected to do this. Somebody can say, my income is so small, I will not be able to do this. You can have this. Instead of 1,000, you save 500. Instead of the second week, instead of 2,000, you save 1,000. Third week, you save 1,500, which means that by the end of the year, you would have also saved about 700,000.
Mais nous, on néglige souvent ces montants-là parce qu'on
That
trouve
is
que
the
c'est très peu.
problem. We neglect the small amounts. We don't know that it's the small amount. They say it's little drops of water that will make a mighty ocean. And it is this, and this is what they call the snowball effect. As you are taking little, your body is being pumped to do more. You sooner or later. Now, can somebody buy a taxi in Cameroon 1.4 million?
Yeah.
Now, which now means that the person now will be working and he has invested money. 1.4 is now making extra money. From the extra money that the taxi is making, everything being equal, it can help him to be able to invest more. Now he can go, at the end of the second year, he can go into farming. At the end of the 4th year, he can go into something. Now, when you invest, does it mean that everything you invest your money is always going to go well? No. There are businesses that you invest, other people will put their money there, they will succeed. You can invest in a taxi, and the taxi has an accident. You can invest in a farm, and maybe there's pests, there's a problem with the farm. But the point is that the person who has built this mindset is not going to stop. And when you don't stop and you keep on doing it, you are going to fall on a business that is going to make you grow. And as you continue to do all of these small things, you are learning, your awareness is increasing, your financial intelligence is growing, your financial confidence is growing, and you are becoming a better person in what you do. And because you are becoming a better person in what you do, the results too are going to keep on getting better. Now, when you do this, in 5 years' time, you will not be the same person you were today. That is the whole idea about it. Because we say it's financial education. When you go to primary school, or let me say nursery school, you start with nursery school and you start learning right to the point that you get to the university. Intellectually, you are no longer the same person. You are matured, you think differently, you take different risks. The same person, a tailor that starts working today cannot be compared to a tailor who has been working for 15 years and have actually been learning new things. So you start doing anything that has to do with financial education today and applying the principle, in 10 years' time, you'll be a better person and you'll be able to see what is more risky, what is less risky, where you need to invest your money on and make better yields. That is the whole idea about it. And when we are talking about this financial education, I believe that one of the important things that everybody needs in life is happiness. When we are searching for this money, financial freedom, the reason why people are doing so is because they want to be happy. It's not even about the money. And there's this person who said for anybody to be happy, you need 3 things. 1, you need time. You bear with me that time to be able to do the things you want to do when you can do them. You will bear with me that there are some people that are stinkingly rich. They have very big salaries, but they don't have time to spend with their family. They don't have time to go for vacation or spend with friends. You also have health. Imagine somebody that has time but has no health. Will it mean anything to them? It will not mean anything. Now you also have wealth or money. Somebody who has these 3 things, he has enough money, he has good health, and he has time.
It's true.
You'll be happy. Fundamentally, these are the 3 elements. We can try to expatiate it. People will tell you time doesn't, that money does not buy happiness. I'm sure that you must have heard that before. Money does not buy happiness. But the question I often ask, does poverty buy happiness? It's true that money does not buy happiness. Money, as a matter of fact, is just a magnifier of who anyone is. So which means that if I'm a very wicked person, when I have more money, it will magnify my wickedness. If I'm a generous person, the day I will have more money, it will just make me more generous. If I am a proud person, the day I will have more money, it will just manifest me. So money is something that when it comes into somebody, it manifests or it magnifies who that person have always been. But now we are talking about this, and this talk that we are having is distinct particularly to the younger persons. Now look at something that is interesting. Somebody who is in between the age of, let me say, 18 to 35, or let me say to 30. This person has enough time. This person has enough health, but the person doesn't have enough money. When you just leave university, you are looking for a job, you have enough time. The day we're going to be boring, you are like, the day is not finishing. But now from 30 probably to 50, 30 to 50, these are people that maybe they have gotten a job, they have now started bringing up a family, they are much more stable, they have less time. Or some of them may still have a little bit of time, but what we know is that they have health, and because they are money, they are working, they have some money, but they don't have enough time. Because they have to get up in the morning, run to work, come back, take care of the family,
it's not easy.
And meet needs.
Particularly for a woman, it's not easy.
Especially for women, and especially the ones that are working.
Yeah.
And permit me to just say this on Saturday. Actually, I'm going to be having a training just with women, and we are going to be talking about financial freedom. How, as a woman, you can work your way towards financial freedom.
Where, when?
It's going to be at Mayavi Hotel towards Isakam there on Saturday. It's going to be from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Where, in Douala?
Here in Douala. So it's a program uniquely for women to become the full brand that they are supposed to be and be able to work in this 21st century and achieve their full potential and achieve financial freedom. So when you look here, now from 60 or from retirement till let's say 80 or 90, our old folks, they have time. They don't have good health. And if they were working and keeping money for themselves, it means that they will have money, because for those who have saved. So the question is, since our talk today is targeting mostly these people here, what they need to do is, how can they maximize this their particular period So that when they will come here, they will have this, they will have this, and they will have this. And so that when they come here, they will have this, they will have this, they will have this. There is something that is very, very critical in financial freedom. It is time. How we use our time.
Yeah. That's the big challenge.
That is where our big challenge is. Everyone, if there's something that God has given to everybody in the world in the same measure, it's time. Whether you're the president of US, or you're a poor person in Cameroon, or you are a girl in Tanzania, or somebody who is struggling in South Africa, we have 24 hours in a day.
Voilà.
Now, for people who are working, generally, work. So somebody said if you take 24 hours and divide into 3, you have 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. 8 hours is plus or minus the time that you spend at work. This other 8 hours is plus or minus the time you rest. This other 8 hours, you use it to go to work. You use these 8 hours to go home, to spend time with the family, and do many other things. If you desire financial freedom, imagine taking 2 hours or 1 hour out of these 8 hours, and you start doing something on it. It could be reading books that are just going to open your financial awareness. It could be attending trainings. It could be taking an online course. The problem with this generation and with us is that we want things that give quick results. So if you are to plan something and that it will give you results in 5 years, many people don't want to do it. Many people want what they will do today and see the results tomorrow. But financial freedom is not achieved that way. Now, this is a story building. Beside the story building, we have other small buildings. The question is, to build these 2 buildings, did it take the same time? I believe no. It did not take the same time. To build a story building and to build, let me just say, a bungalow that is by, if they should start building the 2 buildings at the same time, they can finish the other building to the roof, whereby for this story building, they are still digging the foundation. I hope you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They will still be digging the foundation. Why? Because they understand that they want it to go high, and for it to go high, it needs to have a strong foundation.
Yes.
The foundation of financial education is of financial freedom is having strong financial education. And that financial education is gotten when you start sacrificing time and you start doing things that are very little, that when the things will grow, they'll become big. It's not about having big money. Because if we were having big money, the people that are having salaries that are paying the millions would have been financially free, but they are not. Let me take an average Cameroonian and show you how he behaves. A Cameroonian that is earning 100,000, if somehow they increase the salary to 150,000, this is what is going to happen. He will change his phone so that they know that the level has changed. So that everybody will see him and know that now he's earning 150,000. If he was staying in one-room house, he will go to a bigger room, or he will go to a studio, so that everybody will know that level has changed. That is what happens. And people who do that is because they don't understand what financial education is. Because when you understand what financial education is, and you also understand what I was talking about, living below your means, you know that for financial freedom to be achieved, there must be delayed gratification. And delayed gratification means that I can live at this level, but I prefer to suffer for this little while so that in future I can be able to live the life I always desired. And for that to happen, one must be able to invest time. So, if you look around with the type of competition, the peer pressure, what is happening on social media, you are comparing yourself with people that you don't know what they are doing, and you see people, they are using profits from their businesses to buy things, and you instead go and use your capital to buy the same things, and you end up using money you don't have to buy things that you don't need to impress people that don't like you, who will not even remember you tomorrow, and you are living a life that is an illustrious life that will not bring you to anywhere. You will be in continuous what what Rebecca Kiyosaki called a rat race.
Rat race.
Rat race. That means a rat is suri. It's like you put it in something that is round. So the thing is running like that. The wheel is running on the wheel. The thing is turning is in the same place. So you are in the same place. You feel as if you are running because you are trying to catch up with the other people. But
you are in the same place.
You are in the same place.
You are turning just like that.
You are turning. So, as I said, for you to start going towards the point of financial freedom, you need what is called leverage. Leverage, what we call in French, l'effet de levier. In physics, in secondary school, they taught us about a pivot. And if, for example, you put something like this, with a support here, you put a stick here. You apply effort here, or you apply some effort here, small effort here, you can lift a big stone that is here. That is what they call leverage. So every person who has gotten to the point of financial freedom have understood what leverage is. Leverage is simply using small effort to be able to do big work. Let me take an example. You are driving your car, you are going somewhere, you have a tire puncture. What happens is you go to your back boot, you take your jack, you go under your car, you turn it. Now the effort that you are applying on that jack, if you use the effort to apply directly on your car, you will not be able to lift up your car. But when you are using the jack and you are applying the effort, there's what is called hydraulic leverage in it, that is like multiplying the energy that you have to be able to lift up your car. So for you to start your way to financial freedom, you need to understand leverage. And there are a couple of things that you can leverage on. One, you can leverage on finances. How do you leverage on finances? It could be your finances, it could be some other people's finances. Now, rich people, how do they leverage on other people's finances? They go to the bank. Permit me to tell you that the bank is a meeting point between the poor and the rich. The poor, they go to the bank to put their money because they have enough money, they don't have enough ideas on what to do with the money. Mm-hmm. The rich person is somebody that have more ideas than their money.
Yeah.
So they need extra money to back up their ideas for them to. So they will go to the bank. And when they go to the bank, let me just share something that is funny. You, who is a poor person putting your money in the bank, when you go to the bank, you need to stand in a long line. And if you are in Cameroon here, some of those cashiers, they are always angry with people for nothing. You go there, they will not even smile at you. The pen that they will give to you, you are coming to maybe deposit 500,000, you are coming to deposit 100,000. They don't even trust you with their pen that they buy for 100 francs. They tie it to a rope. But the person who is coming to borrow money, he just walks in there, he just smiles at everybody. They will greet the person and send the person upstairs to go and meet the manager. The person doesn't need to stand on the line. When he goes now and sits with the manager, they will ask the person, do you want tea or coffee? The person is coming to borrow your money, but that's the person they give tea or coffee or juice. You that is coming there every day, don't even know that they ever save tea or coffee in the bank. But that was an aside. But now, the rich person is coming to take that money, maybe to invest in a business that is going to yield him more income, and you come and repay his loan, and at the end of the year, they will give you some more interest. It's because the person is leveraging on other people's finances. So, as an individual who wants financial freedom, you must also think about ways that you can leverage on other people's finances. What Rebecca Kiyosaki will call other people's money. Now, two, you also need to leverage on time. You need to be able to leverage on time. Every day you have 24,000. You have 24 hours. Now, somebody who has 1,000 workers, and each of these workers is working for 8 hours for this person. It means that for every 24 hours, this man is clocking in 8 times. This is 8,000 hours of work that he's clocking in. At the end of the week, the rich man will have 7 times 8, which is, I think, should be 42. 42,000 hours. If you divide by this 24, it will take you many years to ever work and have 1 week of a rich person. because he has multiplied his time. He's leveraging on time. So one important element that young people need is they should start designing systems that will help them to leverage their time. And before the program started, I heard you people, you are commenting and talking about somebody can have 4 jobs, somebody can have, that has to do with income. Because money comes to you with respect to the value that you give out there. So if you're a good journalist, you are giving out value as a journalist and you are receiving money. Now, the problem that most people have when they want to have more money is that they keep on going for more active income. I don't know how much time we are still having. I have something that I would like to explain later that has to do with the different types of income that will help us to understand. If you want to go for income, there are different types of income that I'm going to show. The types that are going to help you to advance fast towards financial freedom. There are some that will help you to make more money, but they will not take you towards financial freedom. Those are things that we are going to explore. Other things that you can actually leverage on, you have systems and technology. I think especially today, technology is advancing so fast that you see what people are doing with technology, you'll be amazed. Some smart guys are bringing up applications that are making them to change the way things used to work. Many years ago, if you were traveling from one place to the other, the most likely place you were going to sleep in was a hotel. But today, you have the application Airbnb that has changed the way people have accommodation. It's a simple application. So that offers the opportunity for people who have spare rooms or have furnished rooms to be able to put in the market. And somebody who comes to Douala here, instead of going to a hotel and probably paying 25,000, 30,000 a room, you instead go to somebody's house that the person has furnished and the place is calm and you pay probably 10,000. And many people are choosing that option because they are still getting the value that they desire, which is having a decent place to spend over the night without anyone disturbing them. It's the same thing that some young Cameroonians are putting in place now in delivery business in Cameroon. I've seen young people, they are putting that because they are trying to leverage on technology. Another thing that people leverage on is on marketing. Now you can have two business people who are doing the same business line and they have their 2 shops in Bopi. One decides to use Facebook to be doing adverts and doing marketing there and is getting people from the social media who are actually coming in to buy from him. But the other person is just depending on the people who come directly to him. The 2 of them are not going to grow at the same level. So one of them is leveraging on marketing.
Absolutely.
So that is some of the things that we can leverage in. Another thing we can leverage on is networks. You see, when I talk with people at times, young people who say, I have this business plan in my mind, the only thing that is stopping me is finances. If I had the money, I'll plan. Most of them, if you give them the money, they will spend the money and their business will never come to pass. Now the reason is this. They feel that money is what is stopping them. But the thing that is stopping them is the full development of that project and starting. Because if you start a project and you are networking with other people, I can assure you, you are going to get somebody that is going to click with you and will become the financial partner to that business. So one of the things that a lot of people don't take seriously is networks. And I can assure you, as it said, your network is your net worth. So the more people that you network with, that you become friends with, you create relationship with people who are intentional, who have a place, who are going somewhere. I'm not talking about networking with people in the quarter that you end up only drinking and they're not adding any value in your life. The more people you network with, they enrich your life, they make you to think better, and they will help you to go into avenues that ordinarily on your own you will not be able to do it. That is leverage. And the last thing I want to talk about that you can leverage on is knowledge. The more knowledge you have, of course, practical knowledge that you can apply, the more you can do. Now, take for instance, somebody that comes out from school, and is looking for a job, he has a lot of time. He can use that time to invest in books, to invest it in quality material that is going to help him. He can use that time to invest in other skills that will help him to bring value. He can even take that time to invest even in the same area in which they are, to have a higher level of skill, or to be able to bring more value in the marketplace, because the marketplace is value driven. It's not because you are very beautiful, you are very handsome, you are a very nice person that people will come and buy to you. Somebody who has superior knowledge in marketing will use marketing strategies that will beat you in the market, especially in today's world that is very, very competitive. So it is all of these elements that will help anyone to grow their financial intelligence, grow their financial literacy. Of course, when your financial literacy is growing, you start knowing what you are supposed to do. Because when people come to me and say, please, I want to invest, can you show me an area to invest? What I usually say is the first place you need to invest is in yourself. Many people are ready to invest money in businesses, but they are not ready to invest in themselves. As a matter of fact, you should not invest, you should not start investing into any business when you have not invested enough in yourself, in terms of understanding the business you want to go into, in terms of having that confidence to be able to take those risks. And so the last thing that I want us to end with today is what Robert Kiyosaki calls the cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant is actually just a table like this into 4 that explains the different ways that people earn money, and explain what you can do to be able to increase your earning power. So in the cash flow quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki says that there are 2 types of people who have active income and people who have passive income. Now, in the side of passive income, in the side of active income, you have employees and you have self-employed. On the side of passive income, you have the big business owners and you have the investors. Now, what happens is the employee is trading his skill and his time to get a salary. What the self-employed, when I'm talking about the self-employed, I'm talking about somebody that has his small shop, a doctor that has opened his small cabinet, the buy and sell, somebody that is struggling. He's not working under somebody, but he has his own job, and so he has a job. But now the particularity about these people who are this way, if they should stop working, their incomes stop flowing in. That's what makes it active income. Whereas this way, this big business owner, he has a business that is being run on a system. And the investor, he has money that is working for him. So this is where I'm going to end today. And next week, we are going to continue on how exactly the people who are here are different from the people who are here, and what you can do to move from here to here, where you are able to find financial freedom, which is what all of us desire.
Thank you. Thank you. Alors là, ça. Thank you very much, Godlove Njisong. Next week, at the same time, in this studio, in this plateau, we're going to have you again because you have 3 weeks with us.
Yes.
And then we hope that after this 3 week of management or what?
Financial
education
towards financial freedom.
I hope that all of us we're going to have something and then to be free financially.
Definitely. Maybe I did not tell you, I actually studied engineering. I've been working as an engineer, but finally I resigned, and for the past 2 years I'm following this path. I'm helping people to also do it, and I'm actually enjoying it. I have more time than I had before. And I can assure you, it's a wonderful time, a wonderful thing. If you are on this particular site, spend more time with your family. You can go where you want to and help more people.
Thank you very, very, very much. We say next week.
Thank you.
Next Wednesday.
Yes, rendezvous.
Next Wednesday.
Voilà. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Godlove. On va se retrouver mercredi prochain. Demain, on a l'apôtre Gérald Agbo-Olinga qui nous revient après quelques mois de disparition, on va le dire comme ça. On sera ravis de la voir. Donc, soyez au rendez-vous. Et vendredi également, nous aurons finalement notre invité qui est arrivé très en retard aujourd'hui. Donc, on le retrouvera vendredi prochain. En tout cas, le programme est noté, le programme est donné. On se retrouve demain. Calvino,
oui.
Bon appétit à vous.
Demain, bon appétit à vous. Bye bye. Ciao.
Wow.